Okay. So the what I want to talk to you about. Your mother has rung for tech support. You're busy. You've got to wash your hair. So what I want to talk about is what's happening and when. So the weird thing is that this update, this PTS is for, if you read the article, this update is for 0911, sorry, 09, yes, 0911. So the current update on live is 0910. 0911 and 0912 and 0912. This update, this PTS, contains stuff for 2 patches. We've never seen this before. So let me just go through the article with you and we can work out what's in each patch. Okay. So, developer bulletin for updates 0911 and 0912. I didn't mention that. No, I don't. Why do you do this, Wargaming? Why do you put a hyperlink around the edge to go back to the rest of the digital? Why? Okay. Update 0911. Are you with me so far? When update 0911 goes live, American battleships Kansas, Minnesota, and Vermont will become available for all players to research. Okay. That's fine, we're expecting that. Updates to the rank battle system. In the old system, rank battles, blah, 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 blah. So this is the new rank system that I'm going to be delving into again shortly. And they've changed it into a series of sprints and changed the seasons and the way it works. The gameplay is the same, but the actual ladder is different. We went through that last time. So that is coming and starting in 0911 at some point, and there'll be an article that covers what that is. And that's it. That's all that's listed under 0911 is ranked and the American battleships release. Okay? That's it. Then it's 0912, which is not the next update, and this is most of what's in PTS. So, New Year celebrations. In celebration of the New Year, we prepared a multitude of activities at new Dockyard, snowflakes, blah, 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 blah. 0912. So, in update 0912, players will be able to start building new Japanese battleship Hizen. So you've got the Dockyard. Blah, 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 blah. We went through this last time, so you can get 1,950 doubloons per phase. There is a starter pack, like usual, 2 starter packs like usual. You can get the Tachibana, you can get the Yahagi, etc. And then there's new camo, and Strands camo. You can get a Hizen, blah, blah. You'll get credits compensation for Tachibana, and you get doubling compensation for Yahagi. And if you over-complete, then you get 400 research points and 200 steel for each completed phase. Yeah. There's a new port, we saw that last time. And then also in 0912, which is not the next update. Not the next update. Are you with me? 0912 is the snowflakes. Everyone's like, quick, need to get all the ships back because the next update's got them. No, it hasn't. The snowflakes are not in the next update. The snowflakes are in the one after that. We'll look at dates in a second. So 0912 is going to be the snowflakes, which I think, spoiler alert, is going to be after New Year. Definitely after Christmas. Okay, so snowflakes in 0912. You've probably all seen this, you know, tier 5 to 7's coal, tier 8 to 9's steel, and then tier 10 is the Santa's gift containers. Santa's gift containers. Santa's gift containers after Christmas. So please note you can blow a snowflake off each ship only once during, this is interesting, updates 0912 and 0100. So it looks like the snowflakes will be around for 2 patches.
Many thanks.
To compensate for the fact that Santa is late. We'll get to that, Afflixia. We'll get to that. We will get to that. Right. Then there are 2 new campaigns. I showed you this last time. I'll show you again in a second. In Pursuit of the Strasbourg campaign comes out in 0920. 12, which is not the next update. And this is the one where you can get Strasbourg at the end. So the first New Year temporary campaign comprises 32 tasks and missions, blah, blah, blah. The rewards are unique New Year commanders, Pan-Asian, blah, 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 and Strasbourg. You're going to need to... Well, it's not that bad. The TLDR is Santa's going to be late. So you can get Strasbourg. There's simultaneously, probably, there's going to be another connection, definitely within the same patch. So also within 0912 is the Ships and Fates campaign, which is the traditional traditional campaign that they've now done for the past few Christmases, except it's not going to be Christmas, where they have 5 or 6 tech tree ships, and each one comes with a perma camo. Okay, so you can get the perma camo for a tech tree ship. If you don't have the ship, you get the ship. So this time it's tier 5. So this time you can get for Ataka, T-22, Hawkins, Visby, Kotovsky, and New York with a perma camo. And Santa's. And yes. So those are coming in 0912. Both campaigns will be available until the release of update 0100, so that's 1 patch worth, unlike the Snowflakes, which appear to be 2 patches. Okay. Are you with me so far? So TLDR, 0911, American battleships and ranked. 0912 is Hizen and 2 collections. Okay? Okay. Let me just minimize that just in case I need it. So on to part 2 of my wiroing. Calendar. So today is Friday the 20th of November in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Well, no, Ebola, sorry. Your name is very dark, sorry. Okay. Today, here, where I am right now, is Friday the 20th of November. If this had been a normal 4-week patch, and I'm talking about 9.10 now, the current live patch, not the one that's on PTS, it would have been, if it was a 4-week patch, it would have been the 25th and the 26th that would have been the patch days for 0911. Okay? Yeah, exactly. But there are, I saw it, Pac-Man. There are significant clues on live, several independent clues that suggest that this is a 5-week patch. Namely, the end dates of the missions and the directives, the fact that the Black Friday ships models are in the game client already, and Black Friday is the 27th, which would have been after the patch. And also the testers, so if you look at my carousel when I go back to live, the rentals for the test ships, you can see this on my screen when I go back to live. The rental period for the ships is past this period here. It goes to like this weekend. So everything is pointing to the fact that .10, the current live patch, will not patch to 11 until the 2nd and 3rd of December. Okay? Does everyone follow me so far?
Much obliged.
Good. Normally, chat, patches are 4 weeks. Normally they're 4 weeks. So what that would mean, if it is a 5-week patch, which I'm pretty sure it is, that means that the next one, so patch goes on in EU on the Thursday, so I'll use the Thursdays. If you're an A, it's the Wednesday. So 1, 2, 3, if it was a 4-week patch, it would be the 3rd of January that 12 would hit. Now 12, if you will cast your mind back to a few minutes ago, 12 is the patch that has the snowflakes in it, and it has all the Christmassy collection-y type stuff in it. Because .11 does not have any of that stuff in it. All it's got in it is ranked and the battleships. So if it's a if 11 is a 4-week patch, that means that we don't get any of the Christmas or New Year stuff until the 3rd of January. Which strikes me as odd. So, what that means... Yes, Bud. Exactly. Bud has cracked it. What I think, potentially, is that .11 is a really weird, really short patch. Okay? Because it could be that it's 3 weeks, in which case it would patch on, well, basically Christmas Day and Boxing Day, which I mean, in Russia, Christmas is a bit different, but I'm not sure they would do that. They might do. Developers don't have lives, so, I mean, that's possible. Or it's 2-week patch, which would mean that it is there in time for Christmas. It went back to November. What's it, Wirespeed? No, this is November. This is December. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, so same thing. So if it's 34th, blah, blah, blah. So it would be, yeah, it'd still be Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve, I don't think they would do a... I know. I don't think they would do a patch around that close to Christmas. Well, I know Orthodox Christmas is the 7th of January. I am aware of that. But for the rest of the world who celebrate Christmas, it's here. So, I mean, it could be... But what it definitely can't be is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not going to be bloody New Year's Eve. They're not going to do a patch on New Year's Eve, surely. Because that would be the 4-week date. Would they do a patch on New Year's Eve? I don't think they would. Yeah, New Year's is the day. And are they really going to do a patch the day before? Where there's a risk that the developers are going to have to be working on the Friday to fix all the issues that if it goes wrong. So, I think what we are potentially looking at is that 9/11, which doesn't have that much stuff in it in terms of content. It's the start of the rank season, but that's not really dependent on the patch. And the release of the ships, which is just like you click your fingers and it's done. So it could be a 2-week patch or it could be a 3-week patch. But I don't think it's a 4-week patch or a 5-week patch, because 5 weeks would take it to Russian Christmas, which they're not going to do a patch on Russian Christmas. There's no way. So it's going to be 2 or 3, I think. I've tried to ask them, but they won't tell me. So, because they don't. They never do. So, yeah. So if it's let's say it's a 3-week patch, and they do the patch on... They do the patch on Christmas Eve. So that means that if 9/12, which has got all the Christmas stuff in it... Because the 24th for us in the UK is Christmas Eve, but I know like in a lot of European countries, the 24th is basically Christmas. So, like Germany, for example, you celebrate on the 24th. So, I'm not convinced. I think it might be a 2-week patch. So that means that 12 would potentially run for like through Christmas and New Year. It's not going to help, Grant, because the dates are going to be different. And last year it was pretty regular. So we could see a 2-week patch, which will be the first time. I don't think they've ever even done a 3-week patch. It's always been 4 or 5. So so that's really interesting. Because of course the other thing that's dependent on how short these patches are and how long these patches are is the removal of those ships in 10.1. So yeah, so I can't tell you any dates because I don't know how long that's going to be, and I've tried to tease Wargaming into telling me, but they won't tell me. It's a 2, 3, or 6-week patch. Yes, Tannhauser. I very much doubt it's a 6-week patch because that means that all the Christmas and New Year stuff would fall like in the middle of January into the middle of February, which is just not going to happen. So I'm more on the 2 or 3 week patch kind of side of things. I don't see why they would make it a 6-week patch. It just doesn't make sense. The numbering is a giveaway. 0912 will drop in 2020. No, that's not how it works, I'm afraid, in previous years. It's not how it works. So the .0 patch always falls around the border of January, February. Has a patch ever had as little content? No, I don't think it has. I mean, it could be a 1-week patch, Arian. There's no reason why not. I think date-wise, I think 2 would make more sense, because the stuff that's coming in 9/12 is the stuff to do with Christmas and New Year. They might skip 9. I don't think they'll skip 9/11, but it does look like there's not much stuff in it. They want to sell, exactly, Vanya. They want to sell the crates because it's all driven, like, they're not going to be late. 1-week patch. Although presumably, like, to the base game, there probably wouldn't be any changes. Which is why, because don't forget, like, we've got a PTS which includes both, which means presumably they're not planning on doing a PTS for 0912. Yeah, Grant. And then, like, the year before, 080 was, I think that was, like, late January. It's usually, like, mid to late January, going into February. Even with nothing in the patch, they'll still break the replays, probably. So, yeah, I mean, I can't be any more specific than that. I just thought it would be interesting to throw that idea around a little bit. When do you think the patch they'll remove the Smoreland will be? So this is it. So, like, let's say, because we don't know, let's say that it's a 2-week patch. So, so 9/11 with ranked and the American battleships will drop on the 3rd. That's almost certain. Then let's say 12 is a 2-week patch. Sorry, 11 is a 2-week patch. 12 hits on the 17th in EU. Okay. So then 1, 2, 3, 4 would kind of make sense. Middle January, that's kind of normal. For 10-0. 10-0 drops on the 14th. With the second half of the Snowflakes duration, because Snowflakes is going to be 2 updates worth. It's going to be potentially 8 weeks. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're talking about the removal of those ships that have been slated for removal around about the 11th of February, give or take a week or 2, maybe. So it's going to be in this kind of area of the. It's going to be one of these weeks, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense, man. Yeah, but it's just a question of, like, is it the 4th, the 11th, the 18th, 25th? Yeah. All right. I thought you might find that interesting. So be prepared for a compressed patch, because all that's in it is ranked and the American battleships and the balance changes. So things like Kitakazi being nerfed, Harugamo and Khabarovsk having their pen taken away, all that kind of stuff, that's all in potentially 0911, and it potentially is live right now on PTS. Because it is in the notes. I'm not sure about the Hizen, and I don't really want the touch my banana. What, you can have the cruiser, whichever one it was, I forget which one it is now. You can have a shiny new Yahagi? Yahagi, was it? Lost it. Yahagi, yeah. Yahagi run. Right, okay. So, for those of you who weren't here last week, let me just very quickly show you around PTS. So, you've got the Dockyard. So, this is Hizen, which don't forget is not coming in the next patch. This is 0912, which may or may not be coming just before or just after Christmas. Or New Year, maybe. Loud. Herp. Welcome to the Dockyard. Here you'll be able to see all the shipbuilding phases and obtain Hizen by completing them. You can complete the combat mission group until the end of update 10.0. The event is scheduled to run until the update 10.1 ends. For completing the Dockyard combat missions and progressing through the shipbuilding phases, you will obtain Tier 2 Tachibana and Phase 5 at Phase 5 and Yahagi at Phase 15. You can find the Dockyard combat missions in the combat missions section of the port. Well, this is what we're trying to work out, Jonas. Because if it is, which would make sense, then it does definitely mean that 0911 is a very short patch. Like 2-3 weeks. Maybe 1 week, we don't know. But it's for certain. If this happens over Christmas, it's definitely the case that 9/11 is going to be a short patch. Complete blah 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 blah. The event is divided into 26 phases this time, 22 of which can be completed. So take note, this is not the same as last time. Quite, it's very very similar, but there are 26 phases instead of 20. I think it was last time. And instead of needing to complete 2, you need to complete 4, and they're slightly more expensive because it's a tier 9. So you can also use doubloons to instantly complete the phases. Like before, you can complete any number of phases you like, any order you like, and you have to put in doubloons in order to get Hisan at the end. But there are these starter packs. You can get 10 phases for 9,150 doubloons, or you can get 4 phases for 5,000. Or you can get any one phase at any one point for 1,950. So if you can't play over Christmas and you only manage to get to stage 15 to get the Huggy, but you're at stage 14, you're not quite there, you can buy it if you want. All right. You get doubloons for the Huggy stage. Me too. So yeah, so it's 1,950 and you need 4 stages. So whatever that works out to be. If you do it like maximum grind, 1950 times 4 is 7,800 doubloons. Hizen is 7,800 doubloons if you don't buy a starter pack and you just grind it. Oh no, but yes, no, you're totally right. Yes, no, it is 5,000 because if you buy the 4 at the beginning, that's your 4. No, you're totally right. Sorry. Yes, no, you're quite right. Sorry, walk along. I missed your point. So 5,000 doubloons for a tier 9, and then grind the rest, and you're done. But I'm guessing the grind's going to be quite grindy, so you might want to go for the 10. But 9,950 for a tier 9 is still reasonably cheap. Yeah, me too, walk along, me too. These things are so bloody confusing. Yeah, okay. So, and then, and like you get loads of doubloons on PTS, so if you want to see what it looks like, you can just buy the stages. They're not your doubloons. And then if you look in the combat missions, shipyard section, obviously the missions and rewards are going to be different on PTS, but this is where you get the shipbuilding phases from, and so these are in here. 2, 4, So 6, 12, 20. It's interesting. It's so annoying you can't see how long these are, because we could use this to work out how long the patch is. But these might be like this at the moment on live. These might be like 3-4 day runs. I wonder if someone will grind out the ship. You can't get it on PTS. It doesn't give you a ship at the end because the ship isn't on PTS. The same with the Strasbourg in the collections, which I'm about to show you. Sorry, not collections, campaigns. The end reward is the Texas, not the Strasbourg, so it substitutes. So, so this is kind of like the headline campaign in Pursuit of Strasbourg. 4 stages. The stage rewards are these consumable winter camouflages, which are actually quite nice for each of these stages. And then the final reward will be Strasbourg, but here it's Texas. And then also like if you buy Strasbourg, because it will of course just be a premium, if you buy it, then obviously you'll get an extra task that you can complete that will make it a little bit easier. There are missions for each of the classes here. Of course, don't forget that you can repeat tasks without getting the reward again, but you can get the stars. So if you just want to do the battleship mission over and over again, you can. But each one has a Texas, read Strasbourg, mission at the end. And then, but using Texas as a placeholder, exactly. They always do this on PTS, always. Because test ships almost never come to PTS. Don't you need to have Strasbourg? No, because it gives you Strasbourg. This one gives you Strasbourg. This one, you have to have Strasbourg to start it. So, this one is the one you do first. You get your Strasbourg, and then you do this one. Because you need to get Strasbourg in order to complete this first stage of this one. Okay. And then after that, I think it's, yeah. And then it's like, so this will be, so you get Furataka, and then the next stage, you use Furataka to get T-22. And then you use T-22 to get the Hawkins. And then you use the Hawkins to get the Visby. And then you use the Visby to get the Kotovsky. And then you use the Kotovsky to get the New York. Okay. And then each one also, again, has a task which you can do for 3 stars that has Strasbourg as the requirement. So, you need to do this one, and then you need to do this one. Okay, and you will have 1 patch. I've closed the thing now. I think it's 1 patch you have to do this. At the same time that you're doing the Dockyard as well, by the way. There will be a test on this later, exactly. It looks less grindy because it's split up, yeah, pretty much. Do we have enough time? That's a very good question. I don't know. Seems like a lot. It does. Okay, so that's the 0912 content, which is the 2nd patch. In the armory, also, there are some random bundles. These probably don't really contain very much on PTS, I wouldn't have thought. Don't know what this is going to be for, but the random bundles are back. This might be the daily logins, I don't know. Maybe they finally decided that this is what the daily logins are going to be. Yeah, I think this is the daily rewards. Yeah. Will this be? Yeah, so ignore the timings, Kosh, because on PTS, obviously, the timings are significantly reduced. Like, so in Ranked, for example, the sprints are 23 hours long with a 1 hour gap. 23 hours, hour gap, 23 hours, hour gap. And then the seasons are between the 2 weekends. It's not going to be like that on live, obviously. Something else that's changed. What do you remember reading? You get a Santa crate for every tier 10 snowflake. Yeah, I mean, the snowflakes are actually on the ships. So you can actually see, if I do this, let's just do that so we can... Okay, so tier 10, yes, so the tier 10s give you a Santa container. It does say in the article as well. Tier 9s give you 75 steel, tier 8s give you 75 steel, and then coal. Yeah. It's not a super container, it's a Santa's gift crate. It'll be a small Santa's gift crate. It says right there, Santa's gift container. On Black Friday, Weekend Warrior, which is a week today, you will be able to see them in the premium shop, I'm guessing. And in terms of details, they're in the dev blog. If you want to go and figure out which ones it is and have a look. There was a dev blog about a month ago. But yes, but don't forget, in that dev blog thing for PTS, it says you have two patches to get these snowflakes knocked off, not one, and that these do not arrive in the next patch, they arrive in the one after. Okay. Betha, there's usually... I mean, you can go back and look at last year's articles, and you'll be able to see the contents of the crates. They probably haven't changed it. It's a mixture of like camos and crates, camos and signals and ships potential. But obviously, the chance of getting a ship out of one of the small ones is quite small. Right. So there's something else that's changed. Is ranked has changed. So this weekend is a different season, and they've changed the format a little bit. So last week it was 3 sprints, bronze, silver, and gold. And bronze was 7 to 8 tier, silver was 8 to 9, and gold was 9 to 10. They've changed it this weekend, because this is a new season, to 8 and 9 for bronze, 9 and 10 for silver, and 10 for gold. Just to demonstrate, I think, that the different seasons are going to have different formats. Okay. And just reiterating that the sprints have different requirements. Samberlin, thank you very much for your brand new Prime Gaming sub. Welcome. Well, I'm looking at the wrong lens again. Welcome. You're up there now. Oh, I don't think so, Exo. Because you get more XP for being a lower tier, so what's the problem? If you fancy playing a lower tier ship, why not? I mean, there's no problem with that. I was doing it last weekend on PTS, it was fine. Okay, so yeah, so let's do a couple of rank battles. I'm not going to stay on PTS forever, but let's do a couple of rank battles. So I'm in bronze, so ranked bronze. So they've started again, so bronze league. So the way this works is, obviously there's probably going to be more stars in a live sprint, but you work your way up through ranks, whatever, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, whatever. And you get to rank 1, you haven't ranked out at that point. You then need to qualify to get your fingers into the next league for the next sprint. We don't know how long these sprints are going to be. We don't know how long the seasons are going to be, and we don't know how long the gaps are going to be between the sprints and the seasons. We know the structure of the sprints and the seasons. So you qualify. If you qualify, that's it then. Your sprint is over. And when the next sprint starts, which may well be the next day, then you start in the next league up, and you do the same thing. You go 10, 9, whatever, down to 1, and then you qualify, and then you wait for the next sprint to start, and then you go gold, da-da-da-da-da. We don't know how many sprints there are going to be. If it's 3, then obviously you have to qualify every time. If it's more than 3 in a season, then you will have some leeway about not getting to rank 1 and qualifying. Yeah, so when you get to rank 1 and you go into qualification, you're effectively playing in Silver League. It's exactly like clan battles. Exactly like clan battles. In fact, in the background, they're probably using the same kind of matchmaking code, whatever. So when you're in here, you're effectively in here, yeah. Although, obviously, when the first sprint starts, there isn't anyone in silver, because everyone starts from here. So at the first time, there's not going to be anyone here to matchmake with, so presumably everyone's just going to be bronze. Whereas Mr. G, he's taking a bit of time off. Nice. Ignore the number of stars on live. This is going to be different. Almost certainly. Because this is like 1, because you get a free star. 1, 2, it's like on PTS, it's like 3 wins to get to rank 1, and then another win, maybe 2 to get to the qualification. So it's, yeah, it's ignore, on PTS, ignore things like quantity and time. They are irrelevant. Because they're designed so that you can do it quickly. Right, I'll just take random Alaska as I happen to have it selected. And we will give this a go.